Hello students, now let us study by this video the shapes of atomic orbitals. So before going to the shapes of atomic orbital, let us understand what is atomic orbital. So when we know the Schrödinger wave equation, so from the solution of the Schrödinger wave equation gives the permitted energy levels, right? There is a particular value for the permitted energy levels. So that particular values for the energy levels is called as eigenvalues, right? These eigenvalues. And the wave function corresponding to these eigenvalues, that is called as the atomic orbitals. Fine? Quantum mechanics have introduced the term atomic orbitals based on the solutions of Schrödinger wave equation, right? So from the Schrödinger wave equation solution, we got the permitted values of energy. So that permitted values of energy are called eigenvalues, and the wave function corresponding to these eigenvalues, they are called as the atomic orbitals. Okay, so here the energy values corresponding to the wave function, they are called as the atomic orbitals. Okay, and the wave equation of hydrogen can be represented in the polar coordinates like r, theta, and phi. So when we represent these coordinates, psi into r, theta, phi, so that is equal to r of r, f of theta, and g of psi. So in this r of r, that is the radial wave function, and f theta, g phi, that is the angular wave function. Okay. Angular wave function. R of r is the radial wave function, f of theta is the angular wave function, and g phi, that is also angular wave function. Okay, so we know the wave function is represented as psi. This psi does not have any physical meaning. So square of psi, that is always related to the probability of finding electron in a given three-dimensional space, given volume of a three-dimensional space. Okay, so what does psi square represent here? Psi square doesn't have any particular meaning. It is just related to the probability of finding. That means there is more chance for finding the electron. And here, what is psi square here? So psi square is, psi is the wave function, square of wave function, that is psi square, that is always related to the probability of finding the electron in a given volume of a three-dimensional space. Okay, so this psi square value, this psi square varies with the distance from the nucleus. Okay, so the psi square value will be changing from the distance from the nucleus. So that is nothing but the radial distribution probability. Radial distribution probability. So radial means the radius we have to consider here. Okay, radial wave function. Okay, so that is this value, psi square value will always change with the distance from the nucleus. So that is your radial distribution probability, and also it varies with the direction from the nucleus. Yes, so that is your angular distribution probability. Okay, so psi square will not be the same. It will be always varying with the distance from the nucleus, and from the it changes with the direction from the nucleus. Fine. So orbital wave function psi, it is a product of the wave function, that is the radial wave function, and the angular wave function. Yes. So what is the orbital wave function phi? It is the product of radial wave. So the complete wave function, the orbital wave function, it is having two parts. Why I said it two parts? Because it is a product of radial wave function and angular wave function. So the radial part or radial wave function, that is depending upon the quantum numbers like principal quantum number and azimuthal quantum number. Okay, and this radial part, they always give us information about the size of the orbital. Radial part will always give us the tells us about the size of the orbital, whereas the angular part that is psi theta and psi phi. Okay, so this the angular part it depends on the quantum number like azimuthal quantum number and magnetic quantum number. Okay, so this angular part of the wave function that will always tell us the shape of the orbital. Okay, so orbital wave function, it is the product of the radial wave function and the angular wave function. So angular part will be always depends on the quantum number, principal quantum number and the azimuthal quantum number, and it also tells us about the size of the orbital, whereas the angular part that will be always telling us about the shape of the orbital, and this depends upon the principal quantum number, depends upon the azimuthal quantum number L and the magnetic quantum number M. Fine. Now let us study the radial distribution function with respect to hydrogen atom. So hydrogen atom, it is an hydrogen atom is a one electron atom. Okay, so the principal quantum number n is equal to 1 and the azimuthal quantum number L is equal to 0. So this one electron hydrogen atom, that one electron is present in 1s orbital. Okay, yes. So now here is a plot of the RR square. So this, what is RR square? That is the radial distribution. So here RR square is the radial wave function. So this radial wave function is taken as the y-axis and radius is considered as the x-axis. So in this plot, radial wave function versus radius of the 1s orbital of hydrogen atom. So here you can see the curve. You get a curve here like this. Yes. So in this curve, so at 0.4, that is the curve is here at this value 0.4. Okay, so here RR square, there is a radial wave function is maximum here. So the probability of finding electron will be more near to the nucleus. Okay, so because of that reason, what happens? This radial wave function value will be maximum. Okay, so in this curve at 0, when the radius r is equal to 0, when the radius r is equal to 0, then r is when r is equal to 0 means radius is 0. That means electron is present near to the nucleus. So probability of finding electron is maximum at the nucleus. Okay, so that's what it is said that the mode psi square. So this is the wave function. Okay, this is the wave function. So the maximum value of this wave function is at the nucleus. Why is at the nucleus? When r is equal to 0, when radius is equal to 0, then the radial wave function will be maximum here. So you can see here 0.4. Okay, then from 0.4 it decreases like this, and while as the radius increases it reaches 0. Okay, so when the radius is equal to 0, the probability of finding electron is maximum, so that's why the value is around 0.4. So from here the curve starts. So as the curve is like this, it is going like this, fine. So as the radius increases, yes, as the radius increases, the probability of finding the electron, so this r square value comes down. So from 0.4 it goes to 0.2. Then again it comes to 0. So while it reaches the 10, when the radius is equal to 10, then the curve, that is the RR square value, will be equal to 0. So from this curve, what should we understand? When the radius is equal to 0, the radial wave function will be maximum. Radial wave function is nothing but your RR square. So this is maximum. Okay. So radial wave function is the nothing but your wave function. Okay. So wave function, it will be it is the probability of finding electron around the nucleus. So this value, this psi square value will be maximum. So when is it maximum? When the electron, when the radius is equal to 0, that means electron is present around the nucleus. nucleus. Okay, so that's what this plot of radial wave function versus radius. So radius is in Armstrong unit. Yes, so in the 1s orbital you get a curve. This curve indicates that RR square, that is your radial wave function, will be maximum when the radius is equal to 0. As the radius increasing, this RR square, that is the radial wave function, decreases. Okay, so that's what this graph indicates. Now let us consider the sphere. Okay, two sphere. So we can see one outer sphere and one inner sphere. So now we are considering the volume of these two spheres. So the smaller sphere is having the radii r and the bigger sphere surrounding the smaller sphere, so that radius from the center, so that is r plus dr. Okay. Now we consider the volume of the sphere. So volume of the sphere we know it is 4 by 3 pi r cube. Now this formula V is equal to 4 by 3 pi r cube, that is the volume. This volume we are differentiating with respect to the radius. Okay, so the volume of this sphere we are differentiating with respect to r, that is the radius. Okay, so differentiation you may not be studying in your mathematics, you will be studying at the same time in physics too. You will come across this mathematical operator differentiation. Okay, so here this volume when we differentiate becomes dV by dr. With respect to radius only you are differentiating. So when you differentiate, we write this d indicates differentiation. Okay, so dV by dr is equal to 4 by 3, that is the constant, and pi is also constant. This r cube when we differentiate, this become 3r square. Okay, so that there is one formula for differentiation. Differentiation of r to the power n. Differentiation of r to the power n is equal to n into r to the power n minus 1. So this is a formula for the differentiation. Okay, so that formula you are applying here. So here n is nothing but your 3. So 3r squared you get. Okay, so we are differentiating this volume with respect to r. So that's why we write it like this: dV by dr is equal to 4 by 3 pi 3r squared. Okay, now this 3 and 3 get cancelled. You get dV by dr is equal to 4 pi r squared into dr. How do you get that? This dr goes this side towards the right side. Then it becomes dV is equal to 4 by 3 pi r squared dr. Okay. Now you are multiplying this equation with the phi square. So this is your wave function. You are multiplying with the wave function. So that is wave function psi square into dV is equal to 4 pi r squared dr into psi square. Okay. Now this 4 pi r square into psi square you are considering as the, we are plotting a graph based on the radius. So after differentiating from this we are plotting a graph here. So 4 pi r squared psi square you are considering as the y-axis, and your radius you are considering with the x-axis. Okay, so this is the plot which shows the Bohr's radius. Okay, so we know the wave function. What does the wave function mean? Wave function is nothing but there is no physical meaning for it, but it just tells us the probability, yes, the chance of finding the electron around the nucleus. So according to probability density, it is said that psi square wave function that represents that the probability of finding the electron is maximum near to the nucleus. Okay, so in the case of Bohr's, that is the hydrogen atom, 1s orbital of hydrogen atom we know it is 1 electron atom it is. So in the case of hydrogen atom, the 1s orbital, the graph is represented like this. Okay, so x-axis you are plotting with the 4 pi r squared phi square you are taking adjustment on the y-axis, and the radius you are considering, radius in the Armstrong unit you are considering on the x-axis. Okay, so while plotting you get a curve, you get a steep curve like this. Okay, so a bigger curve. Okay, so from this curve it is said that at 0.5 Armstrong unit, that is at when the radius is equal to 0.5 Armstrong, 0.52 Armstrong, when the radius is equal to 0.52 Armstrong, there the maximum probability of electron electron. S, so that when the radius is 0.5, so surrounding the electron there is a maximum probability. So that maximum probability value, that is your wave function, radial wave function value is, that is represented by this curve. Here it is. Okay, so here you can see the probability, maximum probability is at this point when the radius is 0.52 angstrom. You can see maximum probability. So as the radius is increasing, the probability, that is the psi square value, so that is decreasing. That is decreasing. When the radius is 3, again it comes to 0. Like this, when the radius is 5, 7, it is all 0. That means the probability of finding the electron is decreased. Okay, so where you find maximum, more increase in probability, maximum probability of finding electron at the radius 0.52 angstrom. So this 0.52 angstrom is nothing but your Bohr's radius. Okay, so it is not that we can see only in the one is electron. So even in the, so it is not only at this distance you find the maximum probability. Even in the 2s orbital, 3s orbital, 3p orbital, 3d orbital. So in all these orbitals you can find the probability of maximum probability of electron. Okay, so this graph represents the maximum probability value, that is psi square value. This is the maximum probability of finding the electron. So this psi square value is more. You get a curve like this. From 0 it is going like this. So this value is nothing but your 0.52 angstrom. So this is the radius. So at this radius, the probability of finding the electron around the nucleus is maximum. So that's why the curve has gone up to maximum, and then from maximum it is coming down slowly, little by little, and finally when it reaches 3, it is coming to be 0. Okay, so as the distance between the atom and the distance between the nucleus and the radius in an atom decreases, then the radius will become equal to 0. Okay, so here when the radius is 0.52 angstrom, that means the electron is very close to the nucleus of the atom. Okay, so surrounding the nucleus you can see maximum. You can see the probability of finding the electron will be maximum surrounding the nucleus. So that is seen in the case of hydrogen atom in the 1s orbital. So that distance between the nucleus and the electron, so that radius distance is 0.52 angstrom. This is equal to Bohr's radius, and this is the radius proposed by Bohr in his Bohr model for hydrogen atom. Okay, so what Bohr predicted and what the quantum mechanics predicted is almost, it is coinciding, right? Fine. So hope you understood the 1s orbital. So like this, 2s orbital, 2p orbital, 3s orbital, 3p orbital, 2s orbital, 3s orbital, 3p orbital, 3d orbital. So all these are also seen. So that regarding that graphs we will see in the next video. Fine. So hope you understood about the 1s orbital. Thank you.